Okay.
I forgot
And
to start them off.
oh, good. And I would be happy to have advisory discussions, for example, relating to whether a lot of these transitionary systems, which in my view, even like tokenomics is a transitionary system into the new paradigm, a very important one in that matter. How we can make sure that whatever gets designed in the Light Leaders group is still pointing in the direction of the new in the long run. And I think that's an area could be of support. Also, if Light Leaders wants to run itself as what's called an AZPO, a 0-point organization, and I would be able to allow more bandwidth for myself and my team to help, reorganize it in a manner which could run as this new paradigm type of organization. And it wouldn't be that difficult because most people here are already aligned around that topic. Yeah, case study. Yeah. Totally, and it could be.
That's exactly what I just thought, and Alex typed it. And you also used the word reorganize. So I just want to be really clear here that we're not yet governmentally organized in any way. And so that's like a huge next step for us, is like figuring out what those roles are, figuring out how to fill them, and figuring out how we all work together. So there's no reorganizing, there's just organizing.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly an area which could be interesting to explore.
Yeah, I think it would be fascinating. From what I understand of the AZPO model, like, I really love it. I think there's some finer details that aren't fully clicking in my mind yet, just in terms, like, I understand it as a new paradigm kind of way, but I don't see full clarity in the transition kind of way.
Well, it'd be a good opportunity for us to jam on it and everyone get greater clarity.
And we could have a specific what is structuring the governance of this Light Leaders Mastermind look like. We could have a call around that, and Oliver, I think you could even kind of lead that call a little bit. If other members of the mastermind are interested, we can post it in the Discord. But that is a really important thing that we need to figure out moving forward. How do we make decisions, especially as the group gets bigger? What does our governance system look like?
Yeah. And it's a very interesting case study because you're having a bit of a dance between who you want to be core team and decision makers around certain topics, and how much you want to involve a broader community into co-creating certain areas. That makes an interesting use case of how you fine-tune the different options to make it effective. Because, for example, one of the things we use is a proposal process. The proposal process works best in not too big teams, so that you can quickly get through certain proposals. And when teams get bigger, you need to start thinking about domains and what a certain membership in one of those groups can allow you to make decisions on, so that you don't have hundreds of people making decisions on every topic. Again, if we were using a voting-based model, like a lot of DAOs and things, then it's easier to scale at large numbers. But a voting-based model is not a coherence-based decision-making procedure, because you're leaving up to 49% of people unsatisfied with the outcome of the decision. Whereas the ways we use, even though they're less scalable to big numbers at present, involve everyone being in coherence with the direction and continuing to feel like they're included in those agreements and not getting ousted out by being a minority of a group. So it's an interesting thing to for us to examine. And what I'll say is we have a lot of experience with it, but we don't have all the answers. And it'll be a good opportunity to test a lot of things and stress test them and improve the processes too for bigger groups.
Yeah, that'd be super exciting. Yeah, I think it'd be great to do a call on that too. And how do you guys like to work to have a big, easy visual of the progress and people's tasks? Because with Yono, we use Trello, so we've started that. I'm happy to share, but there might be better tools out there. so we can keep track of the progress.
I mean, you know, I'm biased. I love Notion.
So Notion, does it work also like Trello, and we can move cards like
Yeah. Notion is like Slack and Trello and Discord all in one.
Okay.
Well,
so
Discord, not so much, but yeah, it has a lot of features. But you can do a Trello board. Put it this way, Trello is slightly more optimized to task management. So, you know, but if you're doing it at a reasonable scale, Notion can handle it while handling an interconnection with all sorts of other things.
okay, so let's choose Notion then, and we can move there and organize there. I'm excited to learn to use it.
It's a powerhouse.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's a good also place to start everything. Like we have some roles developing and being filled, like for example, Jorge helping us with the website, and like Alex and I are organizing the next event. But I think if we focus our conversation around what does our governance structure look like, then within that structure, roles that need to be filled will start presenting themselves. And I think that that's a good place to start building like the core and expanding out from there. Yeah.
Awesome. If you create a Notion space, there's also certain things we already have as templates on Notions for AZPOs. So even like the proposal processes and documents about decision making, stuff like that. So if you want, I can spin you up a space that has some of the basic stuff.
That'd be amazing. I mean, I can see so many synergies already if we do it as an AZPO and we use Notion and we use Growora also for our videos. Like I'm happy to make it my primary space for my videos. And I mean, we can decide on the website. I still, what do you think, Oliver? I still think it could be good for the next few months, maybe to have like a nice WordPress and then upgrade to something like app or something. But what do you think? Or do you think it's better to look first at building with different tools?
It all depends on your strategy and also on the urgency. Because for example, if you're happy to wait, 2 weeks to a month, then I would propose you that you wait until the tool that my colleague Neil has created is ready for testing. I mean, it is a little bit more alpha, let's say, but it's going to allow it to upgrade and scale as all of the tech infrastructure that we're building upgrades and scale. So that'd be one advantage. If you're Russian, get a website, but personally, WordPress is really not a favorite of mine. And I would advise that even though it's a bit more limiting for the time being, if you're creating a placeholder website, use a builder tool like Squarespace or Wix or Webflow to do it. It will be a bit easier and quicker and involve less headaches and troubleshooting than WordPress would, in my experience.
Is what we have at the moment, which is also my podcast website. Then we thought maybe WordPress, but then, I mean, we're not in a rush, but it'd be nice to have Sunish. So we thought WordPress would be an upgrade from the Squarespace. And then regarding the timeline, I mean, if it's 2 weeks to a month, that's good. And I also know in the software world, like delays aren't rare. So I don't know if it's really 2 weeks or a month, or if it ends up being like 3, 4, 5, 6 months, then it's different.
Well, I definitely won't be that long, but we can do a risk assessment in 2 weeks if you wanted and see where things are at. Because right now we were supposed to have a website done with them last week, and they realized that there was something that was missing because we were the first website to ever go on their alpha, and they're now building that thing that's missing. So when it's finished, we'll continue building websites. So I'll have a direct feedback loop as to when it's available, essentially.
Okay. Jorge, how do you feel about, is that something that would excite you to learn to build on that and to do a website there?
Yeah, I'd be happy to take a look at it and see, especially if it's like Oliver was saying, like a drag and drop type of builder. Yeah, I'd be curious to look into it and see. So yeah, And then as far as like having a placeholder, you know, I still think that a WordPress website will be you know, okay. I mean, I already have like that's something I can put together like relatively quick, and once we're ready to get into a different tool, like we can just move the content over. I don't think we're only building a couple pages just to describe the mastermind and point to the type form, so it's nothing like fancy or complex. It's really just to point people to.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, is that I don't see the harm in getting like a base website up, and then the transition is pretty much copy and paste. And in terms of what Jorge was saying at the beginning of this call, in establishing clarity for people who are in the mastermind already, but especially for people who are interested in joining, around what exactly it is that like our vision and mission and purpose is. Like, if we can get clear on that, and I can type up some nice copy and we can house it on a website, then we kind of start branding what we're doing in a way that, like, when people are curious, we can just shoot them a URL, you know, that's like, who are we, what are we doing, like, why are we doing it, you know, like, it's all laid out on a website. And it can be simple for now. It doesn't need to be like this super fancy dream website. But having that makes, you know, giving 10-second elevator pitches, for example, very easy, because then you're like, you know what the mission is, you know what the vision is, you put it in a sentence format, you know. So I think that the sooner that we can have something like that ready, the easier building the community is going to become as well.
Yeah, it could also be like a good place for people to share, like, what are the strengths that they're bringing, the skills that they're bringing to the table, so that we have kind of like a board. So if anyone's looking for anything specific, we can point them to them and be like, oh, this person does this and that kind of thing.
Right. And even if we got crystal clear on governance structure and roles and stuff, we could post like a map on the website that's like, here's empty roles, you know. And then if someone comes to the website and is like super excited about it, and then sees an empty role that they're like, oh my God, that's me, I need to fill that spot, you know, like something like that could also be really powerful to have in a presentable online format.
Yeah.
So then what I'm taking away from this is that the like primary next two steps, besides that we're hosting another event in person, is getting some kind of base website and kind of brand, mission, vision established, and then internally moving in the primary first direction of establishing a governance outlook.
And in terms of tools, so we use Notions and Discord. Like, that feels good.
Yeah, and go ahead, Oliver.
I think you know, it's good to have consistency, but also with important things like Postman and Telegram, because a lot of people are still more active there than in Discord, including myself. And so if I see it there, I'm more likely to be aware of it. And even sometimes you can just reference, you can say, if you didn't see there's an important thread in Discord happening, you know, so people get like the idea that they need to start transitioning.
So
Yeah,
should I, so for example, for the call today, because Telegram, we have two groups. We have the tribe, the big one. This one we keep, it's more like to get people engaged before they join, but then keep also the private Telegram. And then, for example, when we have a call like this, we can put a reminder. So keep adding new people to that private Telegram too, right?
That's what I did right when the call started. And I think that's what Kyle saw, which is why he jumped in. Yeah.
Yeah, good job. Okay.
Yeah. And Jad told me that yesterday too. He was like, hey man, like, you know, I don't think everyone either necessarily has push notifications set up on their Discord, you know? So I think for the transition period, utilizing Telegram is, you know, it's just a copy paste. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I think that that's a really productive call for me. We have two very clear things that need to unfold in the near future. and we can begin structuring that outlook and moving in those directions. Yeah. So I think a next call would be really beneficial to talk about governance. Oliver,
So-
are you willing? Go ahead.
Well, are we happy to keep that day and time for like a regular call? Because like for me, it really helps if we have something structured and settled. And then we can have extra ones that pop up also if we have a specific thing and people who wants to join, but that more like core team check-in.
This is a good time for me.
Yeah, this is a good time for me. I can commit to this weekly.
And we don't all have to commit, but like Oliver, you don't have to, for example, but that's, yeah, I feel that's a good time.
We'll know
Yeah,
that
I'm going to be a bit more case by case, I think. But if we have a governance call, things like that, you want me to introduce certain topics, I'd be happy to do that. The best thing would probably be if I send a little bit of material beforehand, so that we, save time and efforts.
we have a governance Discord section tab.
Yeah.
Discord, yeah.
And I believe I commented on it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. So then I think we should also create a brand tab, Alex, in the Discord, and then we can start talking about like vision statement, mission statement, like even logo, and provide a space for people to give input as that develops, so that Jorge has stuff to riff off and build off. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because that's probably like the one thing that I would need is, a list of like that, like what is all our offer, I guess, that we're gonna be offering, I guess, for people to join the mastermind. So I wrote a few things, but I'm sure we can.
Well, and okay, so here's the thing. Even if we just everyone post your vision statement, mission statement for what you think's going on here, like I can take those 10 or 15 answers and like put them all in my brain and then type them out into something that covers what everyone is saying. So I can fine tune that copy or work with you, Jorge, if we want to do it together as well.
Yeah, well, I would love to collaborate. I'll send you the page that I have as a draft, and then you can
post it in the Discord and get the conversation started.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I'll do a close follow, and then anyone else who responds, we'll just work together to see how we can put it all into a couple sentences. So super cool. And then Oliver, if you post a good place for everyone to start with understanding AZPOs, then in the near future we can have a call around it. Yeah.
Where's the best place to post that?
In the Discord, there's governance tab.
Okay, I'll do it then.
And then
Awesome. I'll paste a page right now that gives you an overview, and you can go as deep as you want in it, up to a 1 hour video, and some stuff is more like some text, and there's a 15-minute video too.
And then for the page, do you want to use the ideas and feedback channel?
I think in the case of what we were just talking about, Jorge, we should probably create a new channel that's like a branding channel. Yeah, Alex?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'll wait for that and I'll post it there.
Cool. Okay. I think that's a really productive call. We have 2 clear things.
Let's see if there's anything else, regarding that, and we can close that. And then Kyle said in the chat, right? Could I run you through the tokenomics model I'm working on? So if it's not like too long, Kyle, I'd be
It'll take like 2 minutes. It's just something I want to run past you guys just to get your intuitive feeling.
Yeah, cool. So are we all good on this container, this call? We have clear takeaways?
Yep.
Everyone?
Yeah, and I think one thing to prioritize is to get the Notions ready then, if it replaces the Trello, because to me, that's like kind of the big domino that helps things ripple.
Cool. So Perfect. And then we can give everyone access to the same Notion board. Cool. Okay. I'm good then. Kyle, shoot it at the hip, brother.
I've just noticed I can't share my screen, so I don't know if are you muted?
Now you
Okay. This will just take 2 minutes, guys. I just want to kind of run through it if I can figure out which Firefox maybe share.
We're still seeing your beautiful face, Kyle.
The whole time.
I know it's telling me I gotta do some security preferences. I might just do it another time. So I'll explain it real quick. It would be good to show you, but it's giving me like security things.
If you send me the link, I can also share my screen and you tell me what to do.
It's
You know what I mean?
it's a system preferences. It's a document I've got.
You can share the document in Telegram with me too.
Privacy, unlock. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm doing a. What was that? What was that guy? The Spanish guy. Privacy. Yeah, it's not gonna. I have to restart Zoom. It's okay. Never mind. So I'll make a video and we can talk about it next week. All good. Cool. It's pretty cool though. Basically, just it's like the old model. I was trying to figure out how to pay people cryptocurrency based on likes, comments, views, etc., etc. But in actual fact, what I'm doing is I'm breaking every second of video consumed down to a Satoshi in the aura. So rather than Satoshi's aura is moments. So in every aura, there's 100 million moments, and they're actually seconds of video content consumed. So if you consume video content, you earn Satoshis, and the creator earns Satoshis, the platform earns Satoshis, and we're going to give Satoshis to charity as well. So ultimately, and I'm just doing the maths on that, but as far as I can see, we can get to 100 million users using the platform for over 1,000 hours and still have room to grow as a platform, but that's distributing the aura very fairly based on the content consumed and the content created. But I'll go into that into a bit more depth with the presentation. Another point. Yeah.
I love that. It sounds awesome, Kyle. I wanted to ask if the videos which are on Growora, which are streaming from YouTube, are they also tracked?
So what happens the first time you watch it, if it's coming from YouTube, it means it hasn't been re-encoded yet, because some videos have been imported but not watched. Once you've watched it once, the recorder actually re-encodes it and re-uploads it, so it then becomes part of Growora rather than YouTube. It's just that process has to happen once before it happens, and it's completely legal, I swear.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's still a work in progress, but you know, we're getting there.
All right, cool.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, I mean, it could be cool to have when it's a bit more ready. If you want to do a presentation, for sure, that could be a lot of inspiration for a lot of people who want to do their own tokens too. So that's cool. And also want to join your platform and participate in your ecosystem. So on both ends, as usual, for your business, but also as something people can replicate for their own thing.
Yeah, well, this is just the last piece of the puzzle for me now, is I have to take the 21 million auras with 8 decimal places and find a way to distribute that evenly to the users whilst maintaining the scarcity. Other token economies are either they don't have a fixed limit, which I think limits the value of the token. But with this new model, it's actually quite difficult to earn the aura. So when you actually have an aura, it means that you've spent, I don't have the maths. It's like a lot of hours learning. So that aura is actually quite valuable in terms of the contribution. But anyway, I'll go into it with a PowerPoint.
I thought you didn't want all our time and attention.
No, I changed my mind.
You're already becoming Netflix, you know. My principal competitor is sleep.
Yeah, well, it's like a yoga training, right? You do 200 hours and you get an aura.
You can also reward action items being accomplished off app.
We were going to build in lots of things. I just needed to get the core, like the video process, just because it's like that's the most important one, because I needed to find a way to grow not limit the size of the platform, but create the scarcity of the token, so that it grew in value for everybody that had a share, but it didn't stop the platform from expanding. So I think I've got it, and it's fair. Anyway, thank you for listening. Appreciate it. All of you.
Okay, cool. So I feel really good about this call, and we'll talk again soon.
Sounds good.
You guys are cool.
Thank you.
Maybe you could post it even in the bigger Telegram if you guys are cool with that.
Post what, this call?
The recording, you mean?
I mean, we'll of course put it on Discord, but in the bigger one, yeah, just so people.
Get excited about what's going on.
Yeah, and that's part of the recording too. Hey guys, what are you waiting? What are you waiting for?
I personally prefer Telegram because I just haven't got the mental capacity to add another app to my situation. So I'd appreciate it.
All right. Pleasure to talk to all of you. Wish you an awesome next part of the day.
All right, guys.
Nice.
Ciao, ciao.
Yeah.